Alrighty, welcome to another episode of Tyler's Yarns. Just before we start this podcast, if you could leave a 5-star review would be good, or if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. That'd be a massive help for us if you get any sort of value out of this podcast. So today we're going to be interviewing a guest that I met at Sneakerland market. There was a market or whatever, but Don.Clothing.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, man. Do you just want to tell us a bit about Don.Clothing?
Yeah, so...
Tell us the story. Tell us everything.
Too easy. So I'm Lockie from Don.Clothing. I'm one of two owners. So one of my best mates, Ben, is based in Perth.
Yeah.
He does it with me. So I started like a year and a half ago, I think. And we were just at a cafe. And like we're really into sports, like pretty deep into it. Watch the NBA, watch the EPL, do all of that. We're just like, why not make a clothing brand, pretty much? We just came across it, like, we don't think the players that we really like and, like, love in that sense are, like, identified in the market that much. Like, everyone does LeBron like we do and, all the big players. But we like those kind of niche players, like last year when Ja Morant was up and coming and a few of the other sports players, like Saint Maximin from Newcastle in the soccer. So, we just wanted to put them on T-shirts, really. And I think we're both creative in ideas. Ben executes it. I'm trash at graphic designing. He's the guy to that stuff. So, we just kind of kicked on from there. We were originally called Don Andreas. So we just went on Google one day and were just like cool soccer player nicknames. And Don Andreas was the nickname of Andreas Iniesta from Barcelona. And so we like to play on words with Don, King in like English slang. And I know here, I've got some mates here that say that it's like a trash word, like you bag your mates with it as well, which I didn't know at the time when doing it. But so we ran with Don Andreas and then transitioned after a while to Don.Clothing, just because people got confused with the Andreas. That's kind of the origin behind it.
So how was, so you said your business partner, Ben, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so how did that come about? Because, you live in Melbourne, we're in Melbourne at the moment, and he lives in Perth. How does that work with the clothing brand?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Perth, moved over start of 2021, to do my studies over here for uni. We're in lockdown here, and that's kind of where I went back halfway through the year, came back to Melbourne, got put in lockdown, and we started doing the designs and stuff. So I guess from like a business point of view, the stuff that I really love from a business point of view is the business administration side, coming up with ideas, the Instagram, all that stuff. And Ben loves the graphic design, sitting there in Photoshop and, helping out with the Instagram as well. So we love like both sides of the business, but like individually. Like I can't sit there on Photoshop for 10 hours and like mess around with stuff. It's not my expertise. I get frustrated. And Ben doesn't want to sit there and do like the business administration side as well. So it's a good partnership. Yeah, it's good.
Because you said before we jumped on the podcast, you said you work in logistics or business. Does that play a big part in Don.Clothing?
It does. Yeah, it helps a lot for sure with keeping on top of things on that like organisation side. And then, working out the logistics of like shipping and all of that kind of stuff, and even just like our trips we did Sneakerland in Perth and here as well, and just working all that. I guess the professional side really does help streamline things for me. And it's also good, like I get home from work and I can spend a few hours doing stuff that I love to do as well with Don. So, it's really good.
Yeah, you do your 9 to 5 and then your 5 to 9.
Exactly.
You do your 5 to 9 of hustling.
Yeah.
Have you seen much success from the start of your business? Because you're only a year old.
Yeah.
You're in 2 months? Are you? You're in 3 months?
Yeah, exactly. It's like end of legit like 23rd of December 2021. Yeah, is when we started. Very like pretty young. To be honest, I really like the success that we've gone on at the moment. Like we haven't like blown up.
Yeah.
But definitely doing better than what we expected for sure. Because a lot of small businesses and brands and stuff don't really make it past that year mark, and we're pretty grateful to be able to keep doing it and be sustainable, which is cool. And to go to events like Sneakerland and meet people like you and all the other business owners as well. So. Yeah, pretty happy so far.
Yeah, because a lot of businesses don't end up getting through the year. Have you what have you sort of overcome through the time that you've been starting this business to make it through that first year?
Yeah, so we had a few. I guess that kind of like identity of what we are as a brand.
Yeah.
Definitely the early stage, because like I said, our initial plan was just to put cool soccer players on shirts, and our first release was like, to be honest, it was trash. It was so bad. Because we were trying to like, we're in this middle ground of doing that like, that like vintage acid wash kind of like, massive design, like lots of the same person, kind of retro vibe on the tee.
Was it like a big graphic print
Yeah.
or like a wrap tee sort of vibe?
Yeah, it was probably more like a wrap tee.
Yeah.
Well, in our heads, we're going wrap tee with an acid wash, and then we just never did the acid wash. And it was just like, it was just a mix between that and then like focusing on a center point on the shirt. And it wasn't really that good. And like, I mean, I'm sure you've had like, you got good people around you, and they were like kind of said to us, look, it's not the best. Simple's kind of better sometimes. So we then, transitioned to more simple. It was Boxing Day, and I was like, oh, Ben, surely we do a little Shane Warne tee. And we just got him just sipping on some champagne before he sadly passed.
Was that before he passed?
Yeah, we did that before he passed, and then we redid it, redid it this year. But we did it before he passed, and that kind of like, we got like 15 orders maybe in a week.
Yeah.
And for us, going from the first drop, we just had two good mates of ours buy, and then
as they always do, Yeah.
And then to have like 15 randoms, it was honest. I remember this one Saturday, Ben and I were just driving around in Claremont in WA, just doing some chores and stuff. And I'm just like looking at my phone, just get the notification. I'm like, what? Like 6 orders today? I was like, what the hell? So that was cool, and that was kind of like I don't know the word for it is, but reinforcement of like the direction that we need to take the brand. So we can integrate what we want and also what people like. So
So what sort of direction do you think you want to be heading in towards now?
We want to kind of like build the brand as a brand, if that makes sense, for like this year. So last year we did all the sports stuff. It was kind of non-stop sports designs and stuff. Now we're trying to transition into a bit more pop culture, and then also have like a kind of premium collection, mainly for winter. We're doing some stuff with puff print and stuff with just Don, with just a label, and try and kind of get like a bit more of that, kind of like that brand kind of awareness out there a bit, rather than just for the players. So we can kind of have both sides of the business, and kind of just really branch out to different kind of garments and stuff, because we've just been tees and crews and hoodies. So we're really keen to do that and try different types of vinyl and different types of print. So kind of an experimental year.
So it's going to be experimental. Like, are you just going to start playing with a lot of stuff?
Yeah.
Are you going to... Do you reckon you're going to stick to mainly sports stuff still? Or?
Yeah, I think we want a structure of every 2 weeks or so. We want to release like a pop culture kind of tee, like soccer, hip-hop, like whatever. And then alongside of that as well, maybe 4, 5, 6 times a year, release that kind of like premium brand kind of wear as well. So we kind of get best of both worlds with that, because like I said, we really got into it for the sports stuff, and now we kind of opened our eyes to the world of like that is clothing. And it's really interesting just to play around with a whole bunch of weird stuff, put it on and see how it looks. So,
what sort of stuff do you want to play around with? Like you said, you want to play around with like materials and that sort of stuff. Yeah,
so we just got some sunnies. So
cool.
we're a bit late, but we're going to put them up anyway.
Yeah.
Got some sunnies. We're going to start doing shorts as well, like next week. And then, I really want to play around with the puff print. I really like that stuff. So we're going to do puff print and then some different types of vinyls.
Yeah.
And then, I want to make a puffer jacket.
Yeah, for sure.
So we need to try and find something. That's what I really want to make one that's like, whatever. I really want to make one that's like a puffer jacket, and then it's got a reversible zip on the inside, so you can take the sleeves off and then make it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
That's kind of what I want to do, because I was looking at literally last week, I was looking at my mate's North Face jacket.
Yeah.
And I was like,
how is this $500?
Yeah, it's because he's got one of those and he's got a vest.
Yeah.
Right? So he spent like $800-900.
Yeah.
And I was like, how have North Face not just done a 2-in-1, like under the zips?
Such a good idea.
Charging the middle point $650 or something.
Yeah.
And I'm keen to explore that, do a bit of cut and sew. So,
cut and sew and learning a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely, that's the thing, a learning year for us. Last year was just, we like this graphic, let's put it on a tee.
Yeah.
This year's more like we're going to keep doing that and learn on the side as well.
Yeah, so you're sort of like going to start, you're pretty much just going to start learning about fabrics and different stuff, and it's going to be like a better year for quality for you guys.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Which is good, and especially, moving probably, in the year's time, like you'll see like the improvement of sales, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Like just with the quality of your brand, like you need like quality for your customers as well. You know,
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What sort of other stuff have you got in the works?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's mainly just that at the moment. We're trying to I want to do a tracksuit set as well.
Oh, that's
for
cool.
winter. I really
Like a
like
soccer
that.
tracksuit?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We want to do a soccer jersey as
Yeah.
well. We're trying to find someone to do that.
That would actually be sick.
Yeah.
Have you seen all those old sort of German ones?
Yeah.
Like,
Man. Oh, all those vintage like jerseys. Oh, so hard, man.
do you pull a bunch of inspiration from like vintage stuff? Like,
Yeah. Well, like mainly around the soccer jerseys for sure. And I mean, also just in recent years, right? Like that oversized fit has come back.
Yeah.
With alongside with the vintage as well. So. Yeah, it's kind of what we go for sure. But there's this Boca Juniors from Argentina, like vintage tee that's like hand knitted like back in the day, or vintage jersey, sorry.
yeah.
We just want to kind of like replicate that. But it's
What colours is it?
Yellow and blue.
Yeah, I think I may have seen something.
Yeah, they're sick.
But I think doing like jerseys and stuff will be cool. Do you reckon you get into any like footy stuff? Are you into your footy or like NRL or like sort of Australian sports?
Big into AFL.
Yeah.
I'm a big Fremantle Dockers fan.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh, mate, it's ridiculous. So I actually...
You can make some cool Fremantle stuff, eh?
Oh, man. We're just like... My thing is, like, we talk to a few of the Freo boys and give them free shirts and stuff like that. I just don't want to be cringy with it. Like, you know, I just don't know.
I don't know, but you could do heaps of cool shit, though, you know what I mean?
I want to do a Matthew Pavlich, like, retro one.
Yeah.
Actually, I live next to a few Richmond boys, and I have this like little Fremantle gnome, and I legit just like put it like right at the front where they have to walk past just to have to see it. But yeah, like the footy boys have been so good to us.
Yeah.
Like Michael Frederick from the Dockers and Sam Draper from Essendon. Those two guys are like legends. We were at Sneakerland Perth, like we had like 400 followers at the time, maybe. Like we're still small right now.
But it's pretty hard to like grow on Instagram these days as well.
For sure. But before Sneakerland Perth, we gave Freddie some like clothes and stuff, and a few of the Freo boys walked in, you know, wearing Palm Angels, a bit of Louis Vuitton, a bit of Gucci, like, you know, they're out in public at this like fashion kind of thing,
because they're taking photos of the players.
Yeah. So they want to look good, right?
Yeah.
And so they were all dressed up in like super expensive stuff, and then someone's like, "Oh, Freddie's here," and I was like, "Oh, sick." So I was going to try and say hi to him. I go say hi to him, say, "Oh, thanks so much for like supporting us," and then I look like at his torso. He's just wearing like this really shit Don crew neck that we got him. It's like probably one of our worst designs, and it's like it's legit just Don in like a few like, it's got nothing cool on it. It's just and he's just wearing it, and I was like, "You're actually a legend." He was like, "Yeah, I wanted to show support," and then we got flooded by people because they saw, "Oh, Don, that's in the corner," and they all came over. So him and Draper are just like, mate, the best people. Like,
yeah,
100%.
especially like. Yeah, I love people like that are supporting like local brands and stuff as well, man.
You get stuff on the flip side where like you reach out to them and say, like they like when you send it to them, they don't post it, which is 100% in their right, completely fine. But these guys not only posted, they like show their friends. Like Draper was wearing our tee when he went and met Shaq, so we got a photo with him and Shaq wearing our tee. So I was like, "Oh, mum, dad, like Shaquille O'Neal one of my shirts." So yeah, it's awesome. So we're keen to do some stuff with them this year and. Sam Draper's got his own podcast.
Yeah. What is his podcast called?
200 Plus podcast. So he does it with Daniel Gorringe and Nick Butler, and they do it during the footy season.
Yeah.
They've got a little cult following. So whenever Draper does anything good, we just get messages like, "Oh, Draper T now, Draper T now."
Oh,
so,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I want to do a collab.
Have you got any ideas for that? Like for the collab or?
He's just got the look, doesn't he? He's got the mullet, the mo. So yeah, I definitely want to do something with him. We're going to do something with the podcast when they fire back up, like an official kind of sponsorship thing with them.
Is that podcast in Perth or in Melbourne?
No, it's in Melbourne.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So, that'd be good. No, I'm really keen for it.
Yeah. So you said you just met obviously all these footy players or whatever at Sneakerland.
Yeah.
How did you go at Sneakerland? Because that's where we first met. But like you said, you did Perth. Was it the Perth one first?
Yeah, I did the Perth one first. So I flew over to Perth. Ben was there. We did it there. Both of them were just awesome, to be honest. Like, the first one, I remember we set up the night before in Perth, and I was like to Ben, I was like, "Mate, I genuinely don't think we're selling a shirt."
Yeah, if we sell one T-shirt, sweet.
I was stoked, right? And Ben was like, "Oh, maybe we'll get two." Because we were in, like, the corner, and you walk around, and there's all these brands that are, like, the high fashion, like, really good quality. You can tell they spent, like, years designing their own garments.
Yeah.
And we're just sitting here with a few tees on a rack with some sport designs. And I remember this kid came up, and bought one like 3 hours in. So with 3 hours no sale, I was like, oh, damn, like we're gonna get nothing.
Yeah.
And this kid came over, had bought one, and I was like, fuck it, like here's 2 tees, like have more, bro, like take them. And then the day went really, really well. From then it really peaked. And it's like regardless of how many we sold or didn't sell, like the amount of like compliments we got, like
these are sick, like you know, because that's when I first went into your store, I was like, oh yeah, like me and Brooke were there filming, and I was just like, oh, these are sick, like they're cool.
It's honestly like the best feeling, like to get that kind of validation that what you're doing is right.
Yeah.
So that Sneakerland, we got compliments on like our designs and stuff, which is sick.
Yeah.
And the one where you and I met was really good. Met a whole bunch of we met like the NBL commissioner.
Oh, that's cool.
Sick. I was like, oh, what's your favorite NBA team? He goes, oh, I don't really follow. I was like, oh, what about NBL? He goes, oh, I'm actually the commissioner. And I was
that's good.
Sick. So that one was really good because we kind of knew what we were doing. Like we didn't have the best setup, but mate, if you looked at our Perth one, it was like 100 times better. In Perth, we had 1 rack with clothes. This time we had 5, a carpet, like a layout, a few of the boys coming to help.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And I guess because we changed our like t-shirts between the Sneakerlands, and so the compliments we got at Melbourne were the quality of the tees were really good.
Yeah.
That's what I really enjoyed. I was like, sick. So
you know you're doing something right.
Yeah, it's just both of them are like the Sneakerland people that make it it's smart as well. Like nothing's ever been done like that in Australia before.
Nah.
And it brought so many. Like there were so many people there during the peak. Like it's crazy.
The line was huge. Like it was like if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you can watch our YouTube about the Sneakerland. But the line for it probably was honestly maybe like 1,000 people. I'm not even kidding.
That's cool.
Out the front, like it took like 30 or 40 minutes to get in, and they're like cranking people through. And
Melbourne
I was just
Convention Centre, like in Perth, they had it at the basketball stadium, the RSC Arena, where they did the UFC as well.
Are you going to do any USC stuff?
Oh man, I want to do a Israel Adesanya one.
Oh, that'd be sick.
The Volk one, man, I was just like so deep into work, I just didn't even like realize that the UFC was happening.
Oh, true.
And then like almost like UFC's in Perth this weekend.
That would have been a good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're also like Ben and I are big because we're from WA. We're big lovers of Street X.
Yeah, obviously, I can see a lot of like similarities in your brand, which is 100%. Cool.
That's kind of what we are based to start off for sure. Because we grew up where like in high school, we're all big EPL fans. Like Liverpool beat, Tottenham in the Champions League final or something. Street X did a 72-hour. Virgil van Dijk holding the trophy, tee up, and all of us copped it. It was awesome.
Yeah, I love how they have like in Street X they have like big turnaround. So like if something happens, they already have like a design pre-done for it.
100%.
So do you reckon you'll like get into something like that where it's sort of just like, oh yeah, like I know Messi wins the World Cup and then you do a Messi tee or whatever, so you know what I mean?
Yeah, we did that for the World Cup. We were planning for it.
Yeah.
We did like a World Cup finalist tee, which I actually think was better than the one that Messi won, the Messi one that we did. And then, as soon as Messi won, we put it up. Fucking went crazy. That one.
Yeah. That was your big one?
Yeah, that was just pure, just like riding the hype. It was great. Yeah, it was cool.
Well, because all your like brand is probably going to be off like reaction as well and like hype at the time. Yeah. Especially so you got to be like preset on like, on it. Yeah, like who's going to win and who's not.
Yeah, so we are, that's what we love about our kind of like our business as well. It's like you get the messages, like it's awesome. It's like, oh, this is sick, I need to get this now.
Yeah, well, it's like reaction, it's like fuck.
And that's why we want to do the premium stuff as well. So it's kind of like we get like that craziness of people coming in being like, holy shit, like that shirt's cool, like the Messi one, or I don't know if the Lakers win this year or something, like a LeBron or something like that. Yeah. Like you get that, and then hopefully with the premium side of stuff that we do, like the cooler puff print, we've got a whole another side of like, I guess, people demographic that we're adhering to as well. So
with the premium stuff, you're talking about like more embroidered puff print,
and better quality
garments and stuff
like that. Yeah, definitely for winter. Try and make it a bit heavier, a bit cozier. It's more the hoodies we're using got like more of like a synthetic kind of feel to them. Yeah, which I like. So our printer's currently doing tests with the puff print. Which is cool. So he sent a few samples the other day and look cool. So
the puff print is pretty nice. So like it's a good. Well, it's the hype at the moment as well was puff print. And probably got another year on it as 100%. Well.
And I like this one because it's not too puffy. Like it's like it almost looks like someone's just stitched in like something that's like they've hand sewed or something. Yeah, it looks cool. So I'm looking forward to that for sure.
So this year you said you're going to be like a year of growth with all your materials and stuff. Where do you think you're going to, like, what sort of, which way are you going to go with your manufacturing? You're going to be doing it made in Australia? You're going to go offshore?
So at the moment, we've actually got a different business structure to most. We do print on demand.
Yeah.
So we do that through Das T-shirt Automat
Yeah,
in Melbourne. They've got 3 stores, one near here as well.
Yeah, we've got a few things printed there as well.
They're awesome guys. Like, we love them to bits. So we've been doing print on demand the whole time because Ben and I just finished undergrad, had literally no money. Probably put 200 each or something to start off with.
Yeah. It's a good start anyways, you know what I mean?
I think it's also really good for because a lot of kids now, and even back when we were in school and stuff, everyone wants to start a clothing brand, but that kind of print on demand market wasn't really there. And now you still have to go searching through Google, I'll tell you. There's a lot of trash places, but we came across Das a few months after we started, and they've just been awesome ever since. So we currently just use that as colour tees and hoodies and stuff. Yeah. But I mean, we've set out a list of goals for the future. It's probably not going to be attainable this year. Yeah. But hopefully next year we really want to do that kind of itch pig kind of, we want to be able to say that we're fully made in Australia. Yeah. That's what we want to do. So that's definitely something we want to look forward to. And there's actually another guy, Clothing. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're a Melbourne-based brand as well. He does really cool, that retro style kind of tee. Oh, yeah. And I was talking to him today about where he gets these cut and sews and stuff from. So I'm definitely keen to explore that option. And definitely 100% a goal of ours to say they're 100% Australian made in the future.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a massive thing that we push for as well, as everything Australian made, just because people don't understand the manufacturing in other countries and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible, and it's it's fast fashion, but if you can help in Australia now, you know what I mean, with jobs in the manufacturing sector here, because there's not that many places that do t-shirts or prints or it's just a sort of dying market, which is a sad thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So we need clothing brands like you guys to be pushing the market.
Yeah, we definitely are. Just need to raise some funds to do it. Cause it's expensive.
It's expensive, especially.
But it's worth it in the long run if you can get there and you can make it financially sustainable for you. There's literally no reason not to, because I think long run, brands like Itch Pig, Street X have been going for 11, 12, 13 years.
Is Street X all Australian made or?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I reckon some of it definitely is. I'm not too sure if all of it is.
Probably their beanies, some tees and stuff like that. Maybe some cuts or something, or their premium sort of section might be Australian made. I haven't.
I mean, Daniel Brayshaw, the guy who runs it, is really
Gucci Smoothie.
Yeah, Gucci Smoothie. He's a Perth cult figure, man. He loves Perth. I've never seen anyone love Perth more than this guy, man. It's so funny to see. So I'm sure he's definitely doing something, probably honestly locally made in Perth as well. Yeah,
but he probably gets it all printed here or something like that, something to do it more ethically, you know what I mean? Helps people, which is good.
Yeah, I know they've got a huge warehouse in Perth and so many people hired and all that stuff. So we know a few guys that have worked there and stuff like that, and they'll have such a positive experience there as well. It's so sick. So I definitely think just long run, we want to be in it for the long run, and that is just cool. You might make less money at the start. But man, just having that respect from people as well that you're made in Australia, and people are going to be happy to pay that extra excess to cover the loss.
Yeah, especially people would rather spend, say normal brands do 55 for a tee, but people would happily spend 75 if it's made in Australia, and the quality is a lot better as well.
Quality is a lot better. And it's just a lot easier to I feel like you have so much more customization if they're just around the corner.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can spend, I got to do this or do that. You know what I mean? You're not always going back and forth, getting heaps of samples and stuff like that. Yeah. You can just go to the warehouse and it's a lot easier, I feel.
Yeah, well, that's what I enjoy about Das at the moment is I can just go there and be all right, for example, with this puff print, I want to go ask him, I think there's going to be some excess vinyl. Print vinyl, we just want to chuck it all over the hoodie. Just just put it here and here.
Just to have a suss of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's good to go in there. And talk to them, have those connections and relationships, because Das have never done puff print before, and we just shoot him at shoot Fabio, the guy who runs it, an email, ask him really nicely, do you reckon it's an idea? And he's like, sick idea, give it a try. Yeah. And that's it for sure. Having those Australia made or Australia connections is really beneficial for sure.
But it helps everyone as well. At least they sort of understand what you're like what you want to do as well. Like when you're going back and forth with these like manufacturers, say like in India, like China and all that, it's like a lot more like things get lost in translation.
100%. And just the amount of emails would be so
Yeah.
heinous. And like the best thing as well is I go Fabio. Oh, Fabio, we're going to do stickers. We want to do socks, hats. He knows a guy anywhere in Australia.
Yeah.
Like, and they all refer each other, and it's just such a wholesome community.
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
That's why I love it so much, man. Like it makes your heart a bit warm,
Yeah,
you know.
It's good. Yeah.
When do you reckon? So you say you're going to get into some hoodies. So you're going to be dropping hoodies for this winter, or
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, we actually Ben and I had a meeting last night about it, and we're just like, look, let's just spend like quite a bit of money, even if we lose. Like we just want to get this kind of like the way I want to brand it is kind of like the hoodie that your girlfriend's going to steal.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, so we just kind of, I think one thing we've been lacking is we've been like reluctant, like we've been spending money on Instagram ads, footy players and stuff, but we've been reluctant to like put it back into the community, like our friends and stuff, where, I don't know, I had a close friend of mine that was like, he like wore the shirt out, and my other close mate of mine was like, see, I told you, man, like, if you just give us some like tees and we'll wear them out, and we'll get bulk compliments. We got like 30 followers in one night just from this one guy wearing a Messi tee out of the night out.
Yeah, because where did you get that from? It's like more like sort of word of mouth. Like the thing I've learned as well is like people coming to the store, it's either off like TikTok or Instagram, but like the 30% that it's not is just like, oh, my mate told me about this store.
Exactly.
And like you probably just learned that just then, where it's like, oh, far, like.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we're keen.
And your mates are your best
100% best sellers,
yeah,
man,
best
advertisers. Yeah, so like I can already see in my head the TikTok like, oh, like we gave our friends some free hoodies, and then it's just gonna be Ben going to all our boys' places and just dropping the hoodie off at the front.
Yeah, you should, and then you should just get videos of him like in the like partying or like 100%. Doing stuff, which would be a cool, what we're saying, wholesome video.
We want to go like just get everyone dressed either in like one or two hoodies. Same hoodie, like 30 of us, get like a little film camera or something.
Yeah, that'd be
and
sick.
Just take some film cameras, like just people dancing, having chats. It'll be good. Because I think one thing as well we really want to up this year is kind of like our media game.
Yeah. Well, your social media looks all good though. Like maybe more TikToks and stuff. Like, so I was looking through it.
Literally, I posted one the other day. It was trash, but I was like, I've wanted to do a thing of like at least 2 or 3 TikToks a week.
Yeah.
But the issue is like,
you just got to get like a series or something that like it's going to be relevant. As like I see a lot of them in the like manufacturing, like clothing sort of industry where they're like, oh yeah, like this is what I sent my manufacturer and this is what I got, which is like they always do pretty well and stuff.
I know Ben's he's doing some designs tonight, and he was going to do the like, oh, watch me design it.
Yeah, that'd be sick as well.
Yeah. So
people just want to see the process, man, and people want to see like your story of your brand, and it's like good to start filming everything you're doing now, because that's one thing like I regret when I was starting this company was 5 years ago. Like I didn't film everything, and then it's just like I wish I could like look back at my older self and like younger self and be like, oh yeah, I wish I filmed it.
Everything. Yeah.
Just because then it's like, oh, that's where I screwed up, and that's the time I did that.
Right? Yeah, I wish. Yeah, we should definitely get onto that, and that's
especially because you're so new as well, and you're like just building up your community now. By the sounds of it, you know.
It'll be that's definitely because we were chatting about it last night, and one thing we were like, TikToks, Instagram Reels, whatever we do, we don't want it to be too like, I guess like movie like in a sense. We just want it to be real. Like,
it's got to be raw and like real, man.
Shit, like,
no,
like
doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as it's like real, you know. I think people that's what I think the switch has been probably in the last 5 or 6 months. I feel like it went from real clean cut to now it's just organic, you know. It's just like, oh, be yourself, do this, like, you know what I mean?
See, it's awesome to see. It's cool.
Yeah, definitely like moving forward. But your Instagram's like good, like, because do you run the Instagram as well?
Yeah. So, Ben and I joint do it. Like, we do the messages and stuff. We choose the post together, and the amount of times just like he's out or I'm out, and we just either just send each other like a screenshot of the post. I think you're putting up. We're just like, yeah, all good, put it up. I think we're definitely like just product photos. I'm not the best photographer, creative person. So I just need to get my head around getting lights like this and stuff like that, making it that kind of like more premium look. Yeah. Because at the moment, what we did mainly last year was just like the Photoshop mock-up, put that up, and then like the back and front of the shirt. So yeah, definitely more in person, on person, and like kind of product photos.
Yeah, like do that. Like an actual campaign sort of vibe. It could be cool, yeah. Especially because I think we were just talking about it before, but like everything's reactive, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, you might need to do a photo shoot just for like that, and then they might not win, and you're like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
you know?
Nah, for sure.
But that's what makes it like, yeah, your brand super interesting, and that's why I wanted to definitely get you on.
I appreciate that.
No, but so we'll just probably wrap it up there. But do you want to say, just have a plug your Instagram,
sure.
your TikTok?
We're Don.Clothing.oz on Instagram and TikTok. We're over there for sure. We're doing one thing we're doing now is we're going to do a giveaway with every tee that we release. Just do a single tee, drop your size in the comments, and we'll randomize it. So, free tees to win. If you go on our website, you can get a 10% discount code straight away if you haven't been there before. And if you restory us, you get another 10% as well. So, free stuff, discounts everywhere. So, jump on.
When's your next drops?
Well, what day is it today? Today's Tuesday. So Thursday night this week.
This Thursday, yeah.
I'm going to put a post up after this. Thursday night, I'm going to do a World Cup moments. We got some photos of like stuff in the World Cup, and then we got shorts end of next week, and CJ from San Andreas GTA.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty stoked on that one. That one's going to be cool. That's a sick design. Because, we used to be called Don Andreas, so it's just got Don Andreas, CJ in there with a Don shirt.
Oh, that's cool.
Keen for it. So that'll be in a few weeks as well.
Oh, yeah. So you've got a whole bunch of drops planned.
Yeah, probably got the next month. And we're giving us that month to really solidify the winter collection.
Yeah.
Actually, that's true. No, next week, Wednesday or Thursday, we're going to release AFL, like release day tee. We're doing a
what date's this?
It'll be
of March
16th.
Yeah, maybe? Something like that.
14th. Yeah, 16th on the 16th of March.
Is that the Friday or the Thursday?
It'll be the Thursday. Yeah. We're going to release it. It's a Dacos, Peter, Nick, and Josh Dacos Macedonian Marvels tee.
So this will be that Thursday. Is this when this podcast will be coming out?
There you go. Perfect time, mate. Yeah. There you go. So that'll be out. We're just going to run it that first weekend. So,
sweet. Yeah. It'll be very interesting to see how that goes.
Any Collingwood fans, get on it. That's
They'll love it. But thanks for hopping on, man. I really appreciate the time. Anytime. Great chat.